Hello, friends. Welcome to And All the Things with me, Michaela Birdyshaw. Today, like every other day, is no exception because I have a really wonderful guest. He is an important part of my everyday wellness, my mental, my physical wellness routine. Gosh, I wish it was every day. But a part of the lifestyle that I live is now massage therapy. It's a choice I make. It is an important decision that I make because our bodies, our minds, our souls, all of it's connected. And what I love about today is we're going to talk about how all of those things play in and what we can do to really focus in our intentions so that just like our guest Nick, we can help each other grow, change, and serve. So without further ado, I have Mr. Nick Palumbo, who will be joining us of Willow Tree Massage. Let me invite him in here for you. Let's see. Are you there? Are you there? All right. Let's see. Nick, how you doing over there, buddy? We will keep waiting for you, but while we are waiting, let's talk about how I got to know Nick. Nick was, at the time, I was pregnant with my son, who is now 11, so we're going back a lot of years. Nick was a guy who I got a massage and everything was going to be great from my mom, prenatal. I was having a really, really difficult pregnancy and I show up and Nick is there. And I'm going to hop off real quick and I'm going to go check on Nick and make sure that all is well. And then I'm going to come right back to you. So please, if you're here with us, stick around for just a second because we've got more for you. So hold on. Oh, wait. I see him. There he is. Hi, Nick. Oh, wait, we're here. We don't have to do anything. Hold on. We are all learning. Okay. And just like that, there he is. Nick, thank you so much. Sorry about that.
No,
I was looking for you and I said, where is he? And here you are. But you know what? That's how things go. Sometimes we connect immediately. Sometimes we don't. But at the end of the day, here we are.
you gotta roll with it, right?
I love it. So we have Nick Palumbo of Willow Tree Massage and All the Things. And as I was saying, I met Nick through a random, essentially, gift card that I got for a massage when I was pregnant. I was struggling with this pregnancy. My head was all over the place. There was stuff happening. And I went in and Nick was there and I felt so safe. I felt so fully seen. I remember crying and not even feeling bashful about it. And that was 11 years ago. And I drank the juice, as they say. So Nick, what is the juice? What did I drink? Because it's good.
I think you just let your a lot of times when it comes to a massage, especially when someone's not expecting it, when someone else is like, this person is so caught up in something else that they really just need to take a minute for themselves. And that's the greatest compliment, for someone to be like, I see you, you're struggling, let me do this for you. Let me let you unplug. And oftentimes when that's the case, it's the first time someone, it's the first time someone lets their body and their mind come back together. And it's like a reset. You have no idea. And it's really funny. It's an ongoing joke with massage therapists. How many times a day we hear the phrase, oh, I didn't even know that was sore, or I didn't even know that was tight, or I didn't know I couldn't move my arm or did that. Because, there's so much getting in that's loud. All this other little stuff gets in under the radar,
So what is the noise? What is all the little stuff, right? And I know I'm always like, ooh, what is that? What do you feel? What do you think did that? What is the noise that comes at us and gets into all those little spots and blocks, right? The fluidity of, because you said when we align the body and the energy and we feel better. Ooh, great.
Yeah.
What is the stuff coming at us?
Asking
for a friend.
It's a lot, it's a lot of noise that you ever realize, chronic pain is like noise pollution. You can get used to anything. you don't
Meaning I
realize
have
it.
a stiff shoulder, but I kind of just move through it because my
Yeah. Oh, I
stress
can't reach in the
tolerated
back of
less
my car
light.
right now to reach this purse that I always put in the back
Right.
of the bag. I just walk around and do that now. And or I don't hear that fire alarm chirping every 30 seconds because I don't, I'm too like you just get used to anything and you don't realize
Hmm.
what it does to you until it's gone. And honestly, like you ever like have a fire alarm that's really loud because you're in school or in an office building and they have those standardized fire alarms and then once it's
Hmm.
off, it's like oh, you feel that, right?
Yeah.
So like it's a
That's
frequency.
a great
Noise
point.
is a frequency.
Visual, physical. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Everything's a frequency. So like why can't stress be a frequency?
Hmm.
And if that frequency can create a tension, why wouldn't, in theory, relieving that tension manually help the stress that created it?
Hmm.
Why not? Why not? That's a
Why
fun
not?
way to think.
So is that what you do? Like, do you just go in looking for those spots and say, "Ooh, where the person on the bat is feeling the
Yeah,
fire alarm?" And how do you know how to turn it off? Are they all different? Like,
yeah.
how,
Well,
what's the intuition, or is there a book that tells you how to do that?
these are great questions.
Oh,
I've
thanks.
worked. Yeah, no, yeah. Sorry if my eye contact is off. You just have me
Oh, that's okay. There's
thinking.
like people hopping in that I'm waving to, and there's
Good.
you're good. I know you're looking at
So,
my general soul.
yeah. So how rule number one, you got to meet someone where they're at.
Hmm.
I try to go into my treatment room or my office or even the area around my table if I'm setting up in someone's kitchen or bedroom or basement rec room or something when I do home
Hmm.
treatments or whatever. Like
Which is super cool,
that,
by the way.
yeah, that's one of the most fun things of doing this. I work a
Hmm.
lot when you work as a massage therapist. It's in a windowless, dark room, so being able to like work in someone's beautiful living room with windows out,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. Anyway, I digress. Um,
Digress away. That's what we're here to do.
I
Divulge
think
away.
the question is was my approach, right? To like
Hmm.
how do
How do you
I
turn the alarm off? Right? It's
how do I
getting.
see what's going on, right?
Hmm.
So I've developed with my training and my experience a really nice uh, outline for
Hmm.
every massage, and I talk to
Okay.
the client about what the outline is going to be and how we're going to do the outline. It's part of the massage. It feels great, but it's really like a full body scan. I tell them this is what we're going to do. It's going to feel awesome. It's going to be 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how long we have all together. And I'm just going to scan the body. I'm going to look at what you tell me, but I'm also going to see like what you're telling me are symptoms.
Right.
I'm going to I'm going to start at the symptoms and try to find what the causes are. And that's usually when I hear, "Oh, I didn't even know that was tight." Yeah, well,
Yeah.
this is where the
Yeah.
hookup, this is where the door is hung on the frame, and we're working. And you're complaining about the
Right.
doorknob, so like we're doing both things.
Right.
You
It's like
know,
when I say my knee is bothering me and you go to my shoulder and start working stuff and I'm like, wrong place, wrong place. You got it, the knee, the
yeah,
knee.
well,
But then it relieves,
yeah,
I'm not
that's
saying
it.
that's
That's advanced. Yeah, that's a little bit more. Yeah, there's more to. Yes, yeah, it's all connected. So
but
I've
it's all
definitely worked
connected
on people's knees and hips by working on arms and necks. It's awesome.
right. It's all
Uh,
connected.
it's awesome.
So
Yeah,
everything is unique and I get that because and the people I work with as a coach, there is no one, slam dunk magic juice, right? I mentioned drinking the
right.
juice earlier. The juice is the idea that with the effort and the exploration, you can grow and change and feel better to feel the relief. And I do the same
Hmm.
thing with my coaching clients. It's, where do you feel the pain? Great, I hear you say that, but go ahead and give me the rundown of everything else and let's connect some of those dots.
Well, the biggest I think similarity that makes us both so endearing to the people that we work with
Mm-hmm.
is that our communication skill. Communication is number one
I love
in
that.
anything because like
Mm-hmm.
I can give you the best massage you ever had, but if you're not comfortable taking off your socks or shoes or whatever, and you're like, let's
Right.
talk about this. We can work
Yep.
around anything. We can talk about anything.
Yep.
The funny thing about an awkward conversation is it's over in 10 seconds because after that it's not awkward
It's not
anymore.
awkward anymore.
No, and
Yeah.
it's one on one or and it's therapy. Like there's it's a safe place. it's a no judgment zone. I'm gonna tell you stories that are gonna make you laugh at me. I mean, if I laugh at myself every day, and I'm like, well, if I laugh at myself, let me let other people laugh at me too.
Yes, let's all have some fun.
It's a fun, open, safe space, and there's also it's an emotional space. You know, a lot of
Yep.
times people feel emotions on the massage table that they have been stopping themselves from having, and so
I know I do.
you
Every now and
have
again,
to
I'm
be
like,
able
holy
to.
cow,
I
I'm
talk a
crying.
lot,
What is
yeah.
happening?
Yeah, and so I talk a lot, especially the first time I meet somebody. I talk a lot before the treatment. I tell them, hey, listen, I'm going to talk your ear off beforehand.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions, I'm going to answer them all beforehand. This way, during the treatment, you know what I
We're
say when I
all
mean
in.
this, and you can just zone out and do your own thing. So, like, being able to communicate with somebody who's on either side of the political spectrum or from a different religious belief or who grew up in a different socioeconomic issue, like, being able to just
Right.
communicate on a vast is that's number one, and that was the biggest skill that I've gotten with
And
all my education.
and you said it in the beginning, it's meeting them where they are, right? Like you can't
Oh,
go
for
with a
sure.
preconceived notion of what's going to happen in the 60, 90 minutes that you have with the person.
Right.
But there's in that same way, like where anything can happen, the energy healing and work that you do, that's a lot. Like how do you take care of yourself while showing up fully and wholeheartedly to create this safe space, without holding
Um,
everybody's stuff? How do you not go home with all that energy? Because that could be a lot if you're not
yeah,
being
self care
protective
is
and
important.
self-care, right?
Yeah, self-care is important. You have to
How do
be
you
able,
do that?
personally, I had a mind shift 15, 20 years ago where like I was stuck. All right, so I'm driving to work. I'm late, and
Hmm.
there's a dump truck in front of me that gets in an accident, catches on fire. Everything is stopped. The guy
Right,
behind me is losing his reality because he's late, and I'm like, hey,
right.
we're all late,
Hmm.
and there is nothing we can do. We can't go backwards. We can't go forwards. This is road rage, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
There's a time and a place to say it is indeed what it is, right? And
yeah.
that's
So
not
like you
across the
can
board, but
get angry at the situation or not, you're still in the situation.
right.
So when it comes to people's energies and people with their mania sometimes, and I'm trying to bring them to get to a calm, or someone who's low, and I'm trying to just get them to to really just feel their body and movement and just kind of whatever I'm doing. I'm not. It's just there. Whenever I release
Right.
any emotion, it just goes to wherever that emotion is. I don't need that emotion. I have my own. I deal with them appropriately. I don't need someone else's. It's like with energy work. It's like it's your energy. I'm just it's your water
Using it.
fountain or
Yep.
water spigot. I'm just hooking up the hose and oh, you have a dry patch over here and these flowers. It's your energy. I'm just directing. And if you
I
don't
like
need
that.
that, if oh yeah, if it's oh you have a headache, let's get that headache out. I don't need that headache. Go whatever that needs. Maybe that headache needed to be
Hmm.
something else. Or
Yep.
I'm rambling,
And
but that's I think you get my
no, but you're
intention.
so right because
Intention.
it's the acknowledgement, and then I know that you're big on the word intention, and I know that because I feel it when I come to you for therapy, and I think that intention is a big part of who you are, how you practice, and how you make people feel. How did you get to a place of understanding the role of intention, of managing it, and then paying it forward, or however you use it? The
So
relationship with intention.
So before we go forward with this part of the conversation,
Hmm.
I
Okay.
think we need to just address, maybe we'll call it a trigger warning of sorts. All right. I
Everybody pause.
graduated. Yeah. I graduated high school in 2000.
Hmm.
So 1999 was a very emotional year.
Hmm.
I went to school in Staten Island in New York City from 2000 to 2004 and was witness and part of a lot of things that happened there. And we're going to talk about these things. I'm an open
So,
book, and I'm going to talk about things gently and safely. It's not going to get graphic, but it will get personal. And
mhm.
sometimes there's going to talk about PTSD, and that can be triggering for some people. So,
Yep. So if that is you and you're listening, go ahead and pause it. Do whatever you need to do to create your safe space before we move forward. Or maybe just fast forward through if you're not ready for that. Again, everything we discuss will be done with respect and the intention of growth and betterment, not to be grueling and gruesome. But I really respect you, and I thank you for being upfront about that. That some of us walk into a situation with more baggage that can be seen. And far too often we assume that everybody can handle it, and we open the gates without concern and compassion for other people. So again,
and we're gonna do it respectfully and gently. So I mean, you feel free to stick along as long as you're comfortable with. Give me a shot, but otherwise, come back in 5 minutes and we'll move on.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk us
so my trip towards an intentional life.
Mm-hmm.
Between 1999, when there was a fire at Seton Hall and a shooting at Columbine,
I love you, Nick.
and 9/11,
great work.
I saw a lot of death, a lot of innocent death, and it changed my mind about what I wanted my life to be. And honestly, that's really as deep as it has to get. We all know,
right? We know
all these events. We all know the tragedy that can happen in life. And
right there with you.
And I had to focus on living every day at a time. And it took me a long time. I'm very lucky that my dad was a combat war veteran. I'm very lucky. So
you're so good. I'm so grateful for you.
So I've just learned, and like honestly, you see, still unfortunately in this day with domestic terrorism, you can be shopping for pants at the Gap, and that's it. Yeah. So every day, every relationship is a lifetime. Mm-hmm. So if you can have meaningful relationships over and over and over again, you have many, many lifetimes. And I consider that a big
I love
benefit.
That. A relationship is a lifetime. It is.
All right. It's
duration.
It's been 2.5 minutes, so I think I think I made it.
You did great. And I want to say that my guess is the person you were before this, cacophony of events and the noise, right, that gets inside of us. Before that, my guess is you weren't, veering off towards, a terrible path.
Oh, yeah. I was in it. Yeah.
Oh, it was pretty bad?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't a terrible path.
Yeah.
It was, all right, hold on. We're not in Kansas anymore. Give me 1 second.
Well, I think terrible path,
no,
that sounds judgmental
it was,
on my part, but
honestly, it was just an unsure path. I mean, I was positive that I wanted to be an educator and I wanted to be like a preschool teacher, or I wanted to be a high school teacher. But then no child left behind that path, and things changed, and I was like, oh, let me be an educator. And then I discovered massage as a way to supplement my future teaching income, because I grew up in a town with a racetrack, and you'd go to the racetrack all summer and you'd see all the teachers there working. It was just something teachers did. They had to have a side job, because you don't go into teaching, you don't go into social work, you don't go into these professions because you want to make money. You go into these professions because you have a huge heart, right?
Which I think is funny, because my degrees are in social work, English, and education. So
I didn't
see where I was going.
All right, yeah. So I think you're all right. You're all right.
Second and third jobs.
Yeah, I always thought it was going to be like a second job, and I was going to education. But the more I got into it, and then I got my certification in it, and then I got to work at a chiropractic office, which was my first exposure to chiropractic care and holistic and complementary health care, and it just became as much of a calling as I can say a calling is. Mm-hmm. And I just veered that way.
So as you're bringing to life Willow Tree Massage Therapy, which is your
Oh
new
yeah.
business that I had heard you talking about it and then it was happening. Um, how do you keep that September 12th mentality, right? Where living with intention, living communally, living with this tribal mentality because we're one, we're all connected. How do you keep that spirit while building an entrepreneurial endeavor? How do you balance, keep the
Oh,
self-care, keep the intention, and still build a thriving business?
well, it's all they're not separate.
Hmm.
Like
Nor should they be, I
we're
think. But
right,
I think
like
it's an
I kind of
interesting
like
balance.
right. We're all neighbors. Every like you walk that way, eventually you're gonna come back from this way. We're all neighbors. We might not be on the same team. We're
Right.
not, but I have a lot of teammates. You're one of my biggest teammates. But even if you're not on the same team, we're all neighbors. We have to live with
Yep.
each other. We have to be here together. And
Yep.
we all, I mean, I want to succeed. I don't want you to fail. I just want to succeed. I mean, it would be great if you succeeded too. So let's do this together. Oh, you don't? Okay, okay, fine. But I'm
Right.
not going to try and. So, like, that's
There's no
just
scarcity on the successometer, right? Like we can
right.
all be
I
successful and fabulous and happy. We are not running short on any of those.
I do need to pause here because I'm doing some learning, and I do need to take this minute to
Take
acknowledge
it.
my privilege.
Yep.
I have a lot of privilege that I am very grateful for,
Yeah.
and that I didn't realize I had. So as I'm
Mm,
learning, I'm also going back in my life and realizing where and then being grateful for that too.
right.
And I'm still learning how to use my privilege.
Hmm.
And I keep trying to catch myself from bragging about it. And I feel like I was just bordering on it there for a minute.
Hmm.
So
What part
just
of it felt like bragging? Can you touch on that?
no, I'm no,
Just it's the it's
I just heard
it just
myself and
didn't
didn't
feel right. Now,
yeah.
but here's what I love about
It's a
you.
learning process. So like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go back and watch this probably 100 times and shake my
No.
fist or laugh or whatever.
No, no,
But
no, no. Time out. There's no
yeah,
wrong. There's no wrong because the magic of life, the magic of Nick is not that you get it right always the first time. It's not that you graduated high school and knew exactly what to do and all the answers came to you. It's that you went through awkward, seemingly intolerable, bumpy phases along with your privilege, sure, but all of those things are helping to learn and teach and grow so that you can serve. And I'll say this, that ability for you to pause and say, well, wait, that didn't feel right. Friends, that's what he does in his practice. I think the last time I was in there, we got like,
uh,
I'm happy as a clam, right? I'm laying down, settling in, and Nick goes, you know what? We're starting over. That was not it. I don't know whose energy that was. I don't know what's happening, but we're going to just stop, reset, and go again. Because for you, if
I'm
it's not
so embarrassed.
authentic, it can't happen. No, that's to me, that's like when my clients come to me with stuff like that, they're like, wait, I don't like the way that sounded. Let's try that again. That is the learning. That is the life. That's what I work with my kids. Is that how you want to handle that? Is that what you want to say? Because the way we respond has action or impact and consequence. And it's okay to not get it right the first time. I think that is absolutely marvelous. And what I love about you is that you do meet people there. What I'm going to tell you as your coach and faithful supporter is it's okay for you to be magical and take that compliment. You get to take the compliment because it is a, shi- a shining example of your humanity that you're willing to stop and say, I didn't love that. Let's try that again. Or I recognize my privilege. And I thank you for calling that out. It's probably something I need to do a little bit more because I am very privileged and I know that. And I have felt shame in the past for it because, ooh, did I do enough and whatnot. But when we look at it from that lens, it's like I did something wrong to get my privilege, which I didn't, right? but what do we do with it now? And what I see you
Right.
do with it now is dedicate your time and your intention and your love and kindness to other people, meeting them where they are physically in your office or in their home or in their corporate, employee appreciation day. But it's also in how you show up as yourself, your willingness to be seen and to see other people. And that's just my 2 cents observation. But what you do with the privilege, the experience, the trauma, all those things, Nick, is magic. I know it because I feel it, and I come back more and more and more for it. So, oh, I love you so much. I wanted you here, Nick, because I think the world of you. I think that the gifts that you bring are necessary. And I want everybody to know it, and you're going to make me cry, but that's okay because I'm a crier. It's just what we do.
It's what we do. Yeah. It's who I am as a person
that you
at this
give,
point.
exactly. You deserve to be seen for that because
Oh, thank you.
we don't have enough. We don't have enough of that authenticity. We don't have enough people that graduated high school and made it through struggling times and said, I want to do more with and for myself. And I think those people need our love and compassion today. So I appreciate that you just pour it out into the world.
Especially after the last 2, 3,
Yeah,
6 years we've had. It's been a collective trauma, and we need to be here together. And men need to understand that there's healing touch, and women need to be heard, and access to abortion is health care. And love is love. And we are all neighbors. We are all in this together. No one gets out alive.
Mm-mm. Nope. So we might as well do it in a healthier and happier and more collective way. So as we close out our time, I want you to tell us Willow Tree, right? Now we can all make assumptions. Trees are strong and they're beautiful. How did this name come to be? Because I want to send you out on the happiest note of your life.
The Willow Tree is named after my daughter, Willow Marie, who is just like a willow tree. Oh, she's so precocious. It's awesome. She's 4.5. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. And a lot of the reason why I started Willow Tree and why starting actually in a week and a half, I'll be there full time exclusively, is so that I can cultivate and curate a life that I can spend with her as her schedule changes as she goes through school and adolescence. I need the flexibility to be there for her at the dinner table and at soccer games, and this will give me that opportunity to be the dad that I want to be for my strong, flexible, can withstand any storm Willow Tree. Yep. And this is her best friend Hobbs.
I love it.
I know she's going to want to see this, so I thought I'd bring her here for me.
Well, I, for one, am grateful for Willow and just the spirit and joy that she brings to your life. But I appreciate the inspiration that you bit into to start your own therapy practice. I cannot wait to see where you go with it, what you will do with it, how you will use it to serve yourself and to serve other people. But I will forever be grateful for the love and care that you give to me. So if anyone in our geographic area, and for those watching, we're talking about central western New Jersey and Pennsylvania area. If people wanted to come see you or for you to come to their office or their home, how do they find you? And what's the best way to get in touch?
So the first thing, whenever I look for a place, I just go to Google Maps. I look for me. So you can look for Willow Tree Massage Therapy on Google Maps. We're in Pennington, New Jersey. You can find me online at willowtree.massagetherapy.com. That is a website that is run through my professional insurance organization, the ABMP, American Bodywork and Massage Professionals. They provide a lot of
really cool.
Yeah, it's a great professional organization. There's a few professional organizations. Massage therapists need CEUs. They need insurance, so they usually go through a professional organization to help keep track with all these things. That's just the one I choose. Whenever you have any questions for massage therapy, I mean, Google's great, Wikipedia is great, fine, but go to the
Right.
professional organizations. That's ABMP, AMTA, American Massage Therapy Association, and you can find out questions about how to find out if your therapist is licensed, what therapist near you for a special modality like lymphatic drainage, or like me, if you have an oncology massage certification. Those
Oh,
are
I didn't even
excellent
know that.
resources.
That's really
Yeah.
interesting.
And if you wanted to come see me personally at that website, willowtree.massagetherapy.com, you can schedule online, but all my contact information is there too. If you want me to come to the office or do a talking event or teaching a couples class like I just did at Penn Medicine, just shoot me an
Oh,
email.
that's cool.
Yeah, and
What was
honestly,
that? Tell me about the couples class. Like, how did that
oh,
come
that was a
together?
lot. That was a lot of fun. That's something I've been wanting to do for like 10 years. I always think about it like too late, like a month before Valentine's Day. And I mentioned it to a regular client of mine who works for community outreach for Penn Medicine. And she's like, that sounds great. And she got that organized. And she's like, hey, can you come do it? And I was like, do what? She's like, the thing you told me about forever ago. And I was like, yeah. So she got, I think it was 8 couples. And it was
That's
just me,
awesome.
and just showing people a few things they can do around the house uh, to help each other with some typical chronic issues like back pain, low back pain, neck pain, shoulder
Hmm.
pain, that type of thing, where they are safe for both, not the person, only the person
Yeah.
getting the massage, but the person giving the massage. Because the last thing you want to do
Interesting.
is hurt yourself trying to help
Right.
somebody else, you know? So it's
Right.
just a couple different tricks and things, and it was a lot of
That's
fun.
really
But
cool.
I do things more than just hands-on massage. Yeah, I love it. I could talk about this stuff all day, but
The
I know that's
gears are
not why we're here.
turning. The
Yeah.
gears are turning. So basically, when people want to connect with their bodies with in any way, right? We can deal with that some through touch and through the mindset and the intention. And I mean, I know firsthand how incredibly strong the mind is over how the body feels, and that intention piece, that is at the center of
Yeah.
who you are. So anytime you want to bring intention into your body, that's where you kind of show up and put it right here. And let's just put it there and right.
Yeah,
Um,
my favorite one is just take a breath and put that breath right there, and you're like,
yeah.
what? But you do it anyway, and it's like, oh,
And it
that was really
works.
weird, but sometimes I need to distract you to do something else, so I'll tell you a joke
Yeah.
to get you just so I can, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, I don't want to give, yeah,
Well, I love it. Don't give all the secrets away. I like to think some of it's still magic, um, which a lot of it really is.
yeah, right.
But Nick, you are a gift to the world. I am grateful for you. Thank you so much for being vulnerable with us today. I think it speaks volumes to who you are as a practitioner and as a person. And I really just think you're a hell of a guy. So thanks for
No,
showing up and sharing
Michaela,
your
you are
vulnerable.
have you've been my greatest champion since the week we met. I see pictures of your son now. I'm like, I gave you a massage before you were even on this side of the planet, and I
And
just
it was
can't
so
believe we've
important.
known each other this long.
Yeah.
You are a
A whole
true sister.
lifetime. Look at it. Like truly, our relationship is a whole lifetime. It's my son's whole lifetime.
The best part of this whole job.
I love it.
I
Well,
love you
you
truly.
are a gift. I love you and your beautiful spirit and that incredible soul you have. Keep shining it, friends. Follow along at Willow Tree. Hop on that table. Get him in your space. But more than anything, know that your intention can have a positive impact. If you can shift it, if you can focus it, if you can create a little space to fill it with good intention, good things come and it feels good. And we want to know about it. So,
Yeah.
love y'all. Thank you. And
Perfect.
we will see you next week.